currently with Dr. Dane Higgins, who is a neuropsychologist, to talk about social phobia. So, Dr. Higgins, could you please tell us a little bit about your educational background?
Well, I got my bachelor's degree at Arizona State University, and then my master's and my PhD at Virginia Tech. And then I did an internship in New Orleans at the VA Medical Center, and then a residency in Oklahoma City.
Thank you. So what made you decide to take up psychology?
Fascination with the brain.
And how do you like being a neuropsychologist?
I love it, actually. I help people all the time that have signs of Alzheimer's or have had a stroke or been in a car accident or they come in with depression or anxiety. It really has a pretty wide variety of applications.
So is there anything that you don't like about it?
Yes, mainly the paperwork, because many times when I write a report in neuropsychology, it tends to be pretty long, like 20 pages, so it takes many hours to do that.
Okay, so let's talk about phobia.
Okay.
What is a phobia?
It's a fear of something, and it could be something very specific, or it could be something general.
Okay. And what about social phobia?
Well, that would be a specific phobia. It'd be something, specifically that you fear being in some kind of a social situation. Sometimes it's very specific, like a classroom. Sometimes it's any social situation.
So what are the symptoms of social phobia?
Typically, a person will be very anxious whenever they get into a social situation. It might just be going into the classroom oftentimes, but usually it's that they think the others in the room are watching them, that they're analyzing them and critiquing them, and usually other people in the room really aren't. They're more interested in themselves. But that's the fear, though, is they walk into a restaurant, they think everyone in the whole restaurant is watching everything they do, so they don't go to restaurants anymore, or whatever the situation is.
Okay. And who are most likely to suffer from social phobia?
Well, it really could be anybody. It's no respecter of persons. It could be men or women, young or old. Everyone's at risk. Well, not everyone, but yeah.
And is there any known cause of the disorder?
Sometimes the person's been humiliated at some point in their life. They have suffered some kind of traumatic social event. Either they, maybe they spilled, it could be something simple, like they spilled a drink down themselves when they were 6 at McDonald's, and now they don't eat at McDonald's anymore, or it could be that in class someone laughed in the back of the class one day, and now they can't give presentations anymore. So really but it doesn't have to have that. There's often a family or a genetic risk factor too, like sometimes socially phobic people will, like it runs in the family. They'll say, oh yeah, my mom was like this, or my dad was like this, and it could be learned, or it could be genetic, or both, really.
Okay, thank you. And how about the treatment?
Typically, medication for to kind of get them going into therapy. I think of medications like kind of jumper cables, get the engine going. And then usually the treatment consists of exposing them to the situation. So having them go, like let's say it's a restaurant, having them go there and just try to be there.
You
and
mean
even
like
if it's
face
only,
your fear?
Yeah, face your fear, exactly. And it's called systematic desensitization. You desensitize them to the situation.
How about CBT, or cognitive behavioral therapy?
Yeah, definitely. That's exactly what's used, is to help them rethink the way that they, what's causing the fear, and to kind of reconceptualize it.
Okay. Well, I think that's all that I have for you today. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome.